Hi guys, Ian here with another video. I am bored stupid. I'm bored stupid. I want to go camping. But I've got man flu, so if you hear me sniffling, you know where it is. And what date are we? It's December the 7th. And I promised myself that I would go camping every single month throughout the year, at least once. But COVID restrictions as well. I know last month I did go to a friend's farm and I took my lad Mike, who's in my little bubble. I have to take the grandkids to school and he has to go and deliver them to the gate and get the receipt for them. And so he's in my little bubble. So we went out camping at a friend's farm. It was wet through, absolutely wet through, and it was so funny. It was so funny. The only reason it was funny is because when we took his tent down in the morning, he says, "Dad, I've been sleeping here and it smells as though those dogs have done a whoopsie right outside of my door." Well, when he took his tent down and he lifted the footprint up off the floor rather, guess what was underneath his tent? That's what happens when you put your tent up in the dark. One of the dogs had done a whoopsie. So that was funny, but it was wet through. We had to put the tarp up to cook under, which I don't mind doing, but the wind was howling a bit, and but we did it. We survived the night, and that's the whole idea behind camping. It wasn't wild, the weather was, but it's not wild camping, but got to do something. Got to do something. We've been in the woods as well. Went for a walk. Did some flameless cooking. More about that in other videos that you can find on my channel and also on my new website. That's another thing I've been doing while I've been bored stupid. Put a website together called tacamping.co.uk. So you can have a look at that. I've got some recommended gear on there and various other things, and there's been quite a few visitors to it, which is really, really good. So I've been learning how to do that. Also, what have I done? I've been building something else to go underneath my sleep mat. I bought a new Kit 180 and it's not thermal insulated. So what I've done is made a little pad that I'll show you at the back end of this video. So you might enjoy that. And because for a decent sleeping mat with insulation, it's quite expensive. Well, £50 upwards. I mean, some people can't afford it, especially if they've lost the job during COVID, which I'm glad I'm not because I work from home. But there we have it. So I'm just going to show you what I have been up to, and hope we can all get out camping soon. Get out on top of the kinder, that's what we need to do, get some fresh air in our lungs. Obviously I take my doggy for a walk, but it's not the same as going out camping, is it? So there you go. So hope you enjoy the rest of this video and I'll see you in a bit. My friends, as promised, I thought I would just show you this website that I've just started to build, tacamping.co.uk. Now the TA, I was in the TA, which we tend to call it reserves nowadays, okay? Territorial Army is what it stands for, but it doesn't look right on paper. So we've called it Totally Awesome Camping, okay? But that's where it stems from. As you can see, it's quite a nice little tent I'm using. And this is the home page. And what I do on here, I cover one or two things, my personal gear, as you can see there. some survival gear that I've listed, and field rations. I tend to use those when I go camping. I know a lot of wild campers they like getting the old culinary skills going. They get all sorts of things and cutting up veg and this, that, the other, and so on and so forth. But I tend to take Ration X rations. It's an old habit. I'll probably get out of it one day, but there you go. Mind you, I'm 65 now, so will I get out of it? I don't know. Some YouTube videos are on there. I've got my blog. Just started this, so please bear with me. It's brand new, and the first blog is all about a tent that I've just bought. Okay, and I've seen a lot of reviews on it. I'm dying to get out there and use it myself, but I've just put that together on the blog. So that's the first blog. Okay, so let's have a look on this homepage. That's me. And if you notice, I'm getting on a bit now. I'm 65. I've got a counterweight on the front to counterbalance the old backpack that I use, which is an Osprey Atmos 65, which is absolutely fantastic. A little bit about me, and then some of the camps. This is just a gallery. Okay, so you got my son Mikey here. Sorry, Craig, and then Mikey's here. That's my old Banshee 300 that I use if it's really windy. Really good tent. Okay, but I've just bought my brand new one. So let's have a look at this next page. My personal gear. So there's me. The Atmos, absolutely amazing. I've got through some backpacks or rucksacks or Bergens or whatever you want to call them. I've got through quite a few, but this has been the best. You know, in a game of cards where you say stick, this is what I've stuck with now. Okay, so that's the baby. There's me Banshee 300. And incidentally, guys, if you do come on here, I am an affiliate of Amazon, so I'll give you the links to where you can grab this stuff. This is my latest tent, the Opalus, I call it. Not Opalus, as somebody did say. It's Opalus, okay? That's the way I pronounce it. It is like a palace as well. I tell you what, there's some room in there. Now, this tent is fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant in high wind. You put the bum into the wind, as you have always been taught by people. There's enough room in there for one backpack, okay? But sadly, this is lacking another vestibule, as we call them, the other side. So what I did do, I bought the gear store and I put that on, but it makes it quite heavy. Now, if the weather is looking a bit risky, okay, which it wasn't on this day, as you could see in these woods, I generally put up a shelter similar to this using my DDXL tarp, okay, and it's monstrous, 4.5 by 3. So we generally put this higher up and cook under that, or just cook in front of it. Then we've got somewhere to shelter, you see. So I thought, well, that and the gear store for the Banshee 300 is it's getting on with some weight. So I was looking, and a couple of YouTubers that I follow, I've been using this tent for about 12 months now, I think, something like that. And they have, I mentioned there, look, they use it in 70-mile-an-hour winds in the Peak District, okay? It was in a shelter position, which you need to be. I would never put a tunnel tent. Although I have, to tell you the truth, the big family tent that we used to have, I did put that in some real high wind and it stood up to it. And I don't know what this would do. So I wouldn't like to risk it, so we use the Banshee 300 if I'm in really high winds on the top of Kinder or something like that. But the great thing about this is you can literally get 3 people in this tent, 3 men, okay? Um, and it is a 3-person tent, Opolis 3. Okay, you can get your gear in the front and you can actually cook in there if it gets really, really bad. So no more need for the shelter. So this is the one that I'll be using all year round. Now, it says it's a 4-season tent, but a true 4-season tent, it would have snow skirts on this front end, at least. Wouldn't be difficult to put them on, and I will have a word with the wife. But having said that, we don't get a lot of snow in this country, and when we do, it's gone the next day. So would it be worth it? I would still camp in the snow, and that's what I'm going to do. So this is my hammock and my sleeping bag. This is my winter sleeping bag, the Snug Pack Softy Elite. Okay, there is my summer one when it's hot and sticky. This is brilliant, especially if there's midges about, because this has got a built-in mozzie net. My poncho, and that's the seat. Now I'm getting old, as I said. Oh, I bet you're all thinking, oh, poor man. And it's hard for me to keep getting up off the floor because my knees are going. And this don't help, guys. I have lost a bit, actually. But when I tried this tent out, there is a video on, excuse me, not tent. This is not a tent, Ian. This is a chair, Ian. So when I did do a video and tried this out, which is absolutely fantastic, I was 19 stone. I've lost a bit. Honest. Okay, so it's an amazing little chair. I take this with me. Now, I don't know, because I've not really tried it. I can't quite get that in the Opolis 3. So, I don't know. It might be all right there, but it definitely won't fit there. Okay, so we'll have a go. Next time I'm out, and then we'll do a video on it, shall we? And then there's a bit of a gallery down here. So let's have a look, see what else we've got. Then I've got my survival gear. There's just 1 or 2 things in here. I've put this go bag in here. Now, should we have a go bag? Should we have a go bag or an emergency bag? Now, what on earth's all that about? Well, I believe that we should. So this is not for anything other than emergencies. Okay, so I've put this link in here to a go bag, but I've made up mine on my own. It's more expensive. And what it's got in this is it's got 3 days supply of food and water. Okay, because I buy these bags of water. I've got my filter in there as well, and the reason I've got this, we're not going to get in this country, we're not going to get tsunamis. I think I've only ever known one earthquake, and that was a few years ago now. We're not going to get floods. If they start handing out sandbags at my house, mate, I'm right on the top of a hill. I will be worried. So what would I use this for? Well, what I've got in mind, as well as all this, emergency blankets and this, that, and first aid kit and so on and so forth, I have also got copies of all my documents. Now, if this house, because I live in a flat, okay, if one of our flats caught fire, I would grab this. I'd have copies of all my documents. I'd have a 3-day supply of food, water. Okay, friends might put me up. That's good. I've got stacks of friends. They will put me up. But will they have my tablets? Will they have copies of my documents and so on and so forth? So this bag, the one together, is near the front door. And if anything happened like that, I can remember at one point my mother's header tank and everything, the roof caved in and everything, and she had to get out until they fixed it. So, you just grab this bag and you go. And that's what it's for. It's nothing to do with Armageddon or the apocalypse or anything like that. Okay? It just makes sense to me. I got my water filter on there, and there's the emergency water as well. So, I mean, this filter is fantastic. You can do up to, is it 1,000 litres? More than that, I think it is. Where it does say somewhere. Gallons. Okay, gallons and gallons. Well, you couldn't keep that much in your bag. Field rations, these are the ones that I use, self-eating ration pack. I've done a video on this. So what you get is this little bag down here. And you put your main meal, which is this one. This one's the all-day breakfast. You put that inside that bag. You fill it up with a little bit of water. You shake it around. Shake it, baby, shake it. You seal it up with like a bit of sellotape, like you do sealing your bread up when you've taken a couple of slices out, and you sit back and you watch it, and it expands, poof, and it starts steaming and cooking whatever is in this bag. Now, I've used these bags, and there's a link to them somewhere. Where is it? There, look here. I've used them for warming up, these Uncle Ben's and things like that you can get from Aldi. That's where I shop mainly. And they've got like lentils and beans and things with duck in it, and all that sort. I've used it on them, and it works perfect. Okay, so that's what this bit's all about. Like I say, there's a lot of people like cooking outdoors and things like that. I will try it. I will do. I do some cooking. And this one is the videos. These are all YouTube videos. I've only just started doing these, so this is one we went up to Kinder, River Kinder. This one is trying out this fire jar here in a transit type. What else we've got? This is me cooking outdoors. And a bow saw that's in a tube. It's amazing, fantastic that. And like a few of them, I've got a Maverick Mini, so I tried it out at my friend's house. This is where I went camping last. Okay, now this is when we used to have a trailer tent. Sadly, my poorly wife, she's got arthritis, so we've gone on to a caravan now for that sort of camping that we take up there and we just leave it there. But she keeps all this cut. She's got 13 acres, and this probably 2-3 acres she keeps all cut down and invites friends up. This is that chair that I was telling you about that I did a video on, and this one is just a bit of a laugh. I was testing out a hammock when I was 19 stone, I tell you. 19 stone of pure muscle relax, it's terrible. And this is the start of my blog, and I've only done one up to now, the nature hike, up Palace 3-person tent, and this is all about that. Okay, it's a fantastic tent. I know it is, and the videos that I've seen on it, in snow, in driving rain, both those were in where was it, New Zealand, and I watched a couple of YouTubers using it in 70-mile-an-hour winds, although they were in a bit of a gully. So always do that, guys, always do that. So this is my take on that, and that's it. So that's one thing that I've been building, and I shall show you what else I've been up to. Okay, guys, let me show you what else I've been playing with. Now, these are out of the caravan, so if you're wondering what the mess is, but it's brilliant. It saves my back. This is my spare bedroom where I keep all my stuff. Now, I have just purchased an outfit Listen. Ooh. An out kit 180. Okay, hope you can see that. Let me move it. An out kit 180. Okay, and these are bits of Velcro, and I'll show you what they're for in a minute. But this one is for my pillow. Okay, this is a Jokel pillow. It's absolutely fantastic. It's recommended by a couple of YouTubers. Absolutely gorgeous, and that does me. And what I've done, I've glued some Velcro on there and on here, because last time I went, every time I turned over, the pillow shot out the way. Now it won't do that, because what I tend to do with mine is put my sleeping bag the hood goes over the top, okay, because it's nice and soft. Mind you, that's nice and soft, but, and I've also built this, and this is a reflective mat, because this has got no thermal insulation built into it. It will help, but you know what it's like this time of year. The ground is absolutely freezing. So, let me show you. What this is what the, you know the stuff that's put on the laminate flooring, the white stuff? Well, this is slightly thicker. This is about 3 mil, okay? And I've cut it to the same shape, and I've also, you know, the emergency blankets, they're quite tough, these are. I have put this top and bottom. Okay, so here is that film. Sorry, here is the film, and this is the stuff that goes underneath the laminate flooring. It's a bit thicker than most. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn that over, and I'm going to stick this on here, and that stops it from going all over the shot when I'm turning over. Okay, if I've got that right. So that goes underneath, and there we have it, reflective. So I slept on this floor actually. In fact, I tell a fib. I said to their wife that would be cheating, because this has got underlay and everything. So I slept on the laminate flooring, and that works out a darn treat. So there we have it, that's what I've been up to. Told you I was going to tell you what I've been up to, and this is project number 2. And then my sleeping bag that I always keep out, my Snug Pack Softy Elite, for goes on top of there. Absolutely gorgeous, this is. This too is newish. I used it in my last camp, and boy was I toasty. Now I have seen a video, a guy, another YouTuber, I'm not going to tell you the names because especially when I disagree with somebody to a point, but he bought a sleeping quilt, a camping quilt. Now basically what a camping quilt is more money, and all it is this. Okay, all it is basically is that. So it's sewn or zipped up to a specific area, so like a foot box, And incidentally, inside this, guys, the army do use these. You can sleep with your boots on. I wouldn't do that, but there you go. When you're in the army, you've got to sleep with your boots on, mate, so you can get up and out of the way quick. But it's got a liner on the inside of that. Okay, but this is all a quilt is. The camping quilt is that. Then you chuck it over you like that. So you sleep with it like that. And I sleep like that anyway. Because I don't like being trapped. Although this, as you can see on the website, it's got an extension baffle in it. Can you see that? So you've got an extra 6 inches there. But I still use it like you would a quilt. I just stick my boots in the bottom or my feet in the bottom and I cover myself up and I go bye-byes. And that's it. So you don't need to keep spending and chucking more money at it. Keep what you've got and use it as a quilt. And that's it, especially in the summertime. Even my summer sleeping bag that you can see on the website, that can get a bit warm sometimes. And so I use it like that. I've always done that. I've always used it like that. I don't like being fastened in. So there you go, guys. That's the things that I've been going at. And well, I've been bored stiff, waiting for a time when we can go backpacking. Although I might do soon. Okay, guys. Thank you for listening, and bye for now.